Baby, CreepTime the podcast is going on tour and coming to a city near you.
So head over to creeptime.com to get your tickets to come see CreepTime live.
Well, you can't trust County.
Oh my God. It feels good to be back.
It certainly does. It certainly does. Hold that thought. I'm trying to move my cursor over.
Oh
well, we
God.
have done costumes for Christmas.
That's right. That's right.
Before we reveal, can I at least, you know what? I'm going to keep it a surprise for myself. I'm not even going to spoil it. Oh my God. It's literally poking through my hands.
Stop.
Do we reveal on 3?
Okay. Hold on. Let me get mine. I'm falling apart over here. Okay. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Oh! I knew it.
I prayed for this. I literally prayed for this. Okay, I wanted to be the you version. Thank God I didn't, because you seriously look incredible. I can't. Why am I about to tear up?
The nose. Oh.
What is this nose?
I'm speechless. I'm speechless. I wish I had it.
But I'm not even sure. It's like a who knows. It's like maybe a mouse. I don't know. I am dying. I literally need you to go to a spa, walk around in this outfit. It's so good. I love it so much. I'm literally dying. The little girl in me is dying right now.
You look just like a who. This is crazy.
Baby, when I'm breathing,
I can see it. I saw it.
It's so funny.
Creepers,
Okay,
it is a Merry Christmas
Creepers.
today. Let me
Happy
tell you.
holidays. I have to say, you look hot.
You know, I called my sister. Can I just say something? May I speak?
Please.
May I speak on this
yes,
day?
Speak
I
on
called my sister and she picked up the FaceTime, and the first thing she said to me, she goes, "You look beautiful."
You actually
she
do.
meant it, and I said, "You know what?
You look beautiful. You actually really
Betty.
look beautiful."
Hi.
The muscle.
The muscles.
Oh my God.
First
okay.
of all, already had the buck teeth. Didn't have to. No prosthetic needed. They're here.
When he's back. Where did you get the blue robe? Because when I was thinking about doing that version, I was like, that'll be fabulous because then I'll have this nice blue robe.
Honestly, can't recommend it enough. It's a great robe, to be honest. Hold on. Let me situate. My mic is falling apart.
Blue nails. I cannot. This is crazy. Creepers, I'm sorry. If you're not watching this on video, you better hustle over.
Please come on over from Apple. It really is a spectacle to be seen. The freak show is alive and well today in this day and age. Boys, keep it in your pants.
Honestly, they're not going to be able to. I'm just being dead serious. Not because of this old broad. Because of that one.
Someone else.
Oh my God.
It was really about emulating Christine. I really wanted to do it, you know?
Yes. Oh my God.
I tried to, this has contoured my Cupid's bow to elongate the upper part of my lip to create that who effect.
See,
I wish I went full prosthetic. I wish I went full prosthetic. I should have gone your route.
I should have gone your route 1,000% because this is just, it is who, but it's not.
I had a feeling. Well, okay, when I was doing my dramaturg research for this, because I was like, why does Martha May's who knows look so different from the other who's? And the bit is that she had a who knows job. So it looks less like a who knows than the other.
Oh my God. That makes so much sense.
There's lore. There's
so much lore. Wow. I'm really speechless over here. Meanwhile, my only prop, I was like,
I want that, baby. That looks like something that shouldn't be shown on camera.
I know. I want to bust this thing open and have 18 of these little Grinch kisses.
Are they kisses?
They're kisses, and some of them have little Macs on them.
Mr. Mayor, your ring. My heart belongs to Someone else.
Isn't that ring bomb? I was thinking about that. I was like, I would love to have that freaking
That rock, honey.
Oh, baby.
God, you look so good.
Oh my God.
Your
No, I
eye makeup is
don't.
beautiful. I think you look fabulous, to be honest.
Well, thanks, baby. I do love a little Christmas stole.
I was gonna say, I was like, I feel like this will make another appearance if you end up going to a Christmas party before you end up leaving town.
I honestly am just gonna contemplate maybe wearing this tomorrow on the plane and having my father have to pick me up, and he's gonna go, "You've seriously lost your mind."
Wear the who knows as well, and really see what he does. Like,
I just sleep in it. Oh my God, creepers!
How you doing, babies? This whole mic is
Happy
falling apart.
holidays.
Happy holidays.
They're all gonna be freaking shook when they see you.
You think so?
That's serious.
You're like really again. You keep gassing me up with these.
No.
I was stressing about it because I was like, this is a tough one to pull off without prosthetics.
I'm honestly, I will always gas you up no matter what. But like, this is top tier.
Thank you.
This is.
I think
really
this is
good.
this might be the prettiest costume we've done.
Yeah. You look
truthfully.
absolutely stunning. Gorgeous.
Well, actually, your young Frankenstein was gorgeous, actually.
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
She was beautiful.
That was fun. That was. And the freaking wig. The wig's amazing.
Oh, the young Frankenstein wig?
No, your wig.
Okay, this is a bad wig, unfortunately. It is, but it has really good curl to it because I bought 2 wigs. One of them was much nicer, but it got returned. It needed a lot of styling. This was it was a shake and go option that I needed. Hold on.
Yeah. Oh my God. Meanwhile, I got my hair stuffed up in here like I'm bald. Basically.
But that's how she looks, right? That's how she looks from the movie, from what I recall.
I just wish I had the dun 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 dun. Like,
well, if we want to get into some real props, we should do that at a certain point. We have to schedule that far in advance. Babies.
Oh my God, babies.
Welcome back.
It's the most wonderful time.
As you can see, we are in full Christmas spirit, full holiday spirit for everyone. We really wanted to bring costumes back so they are alive and well for a December episode for y'all. And today we have put together a very special episode because we have not 1, not 2, but 3 scary stories.
And they're all holiday themed.
They're all holiday themed. I have 2, you have 1, right?
I've got 1. There's nothing more sinister than something really bad and spooky happening at Christmas time.
Agreed. I thought you were going to mention the way that we look telling these stories. There's really nothing more sinister than the way we look on this day.
That's true. Can I just tell you, before we go to the stories, I had a sinking feeling that you might show up as the Grinch. And I kind of have a fear of the Grinch.
Do you?
Not like a legitimate fear, but like if I see people in public, like, there's people that love to dress up as the Grinch.
Yes.
It kind of freaks me out.
We got to take you to Universal around Christmas time because they have like an actual like full on prosthetic makeup Grinch actor.
See,
and he like screams at people. He screams, comes in your face, he goes, "What are you doing?"
That's so scary. Oh my God.
No, hold on. Sorry. This mic is it's loose and I have to screw in the nail, but it's, that's not for today. That's not
for today. You kind of needed your old pink mic, but with a frosty blue cap.
Oh, I did. I did that far enough.
Or like a little, remember in the olden days when we had the Yeti mics and they had those like fuzzy little covers?
Mm-hmm. Remember before that we had the toner mics?
Don't even say that.
Tin can. It's
tin can.
I thought you were going to be Martha May, actually. I was like, I think Stu's going to be Martha May too. I had a feeling for some reason.
I had a feeling too.
But I thought we were going to end up being the same version of Martha May, and I was
like, I was going to be that version,
crazy.
But I just had a strange feeling. I was like, I need to let that live with someone else.
You and this nose going, I just had a strange feeling.
I kind of feel like a Mortimer. I feel like Dale.
You look a little like a Mortimer.
Little cookies or something.
Little cookies or something.
Little cookies or something. No.
You remind me of Horton Hears a Who a little bit. That's what I'm getting.
Wrong, Seuss. Oh my God, baby.
Well,
this is such a joy.
Welcome back again, everybody. If you're brand new here, holy shit.
Buckle in.
What time is it? 9:08?
9:08.
We are going to get into some scary stories. Before we do, again, welcome back to everybody who is brand new. I am Silas. This is Stu. We come out with new episodes every single week, so please stick around, baby. Hang out, follow the show, subscribe to the show.
It's not always this unhinged, but it's fun when
it is in different ways, but this is especially unhinged.
Yeah, usually it's a true crime story where we're throwing each other on our asses, but Today, it's
So
multiple
crazy.
versions of
I look
Martha.
scary.
No, you don't.
No,
Seriously,
I
I, like,
do.
want to be you. I'm dead serious. It's so
What are
good.
her lines? I can't. It's escaping me now. Like, what
I
the hell she
know.
says?
Uh, oh god.
Isn't this antique, darling?
Yes, it's
It's handcrafted and almost 100 years old.
100 years old. That little
This,
glass
however,
thing.
is new. Oh, she's so good. She eats that girl
Oh
up.
god, love her so much.
But yes, back on track. Sorry. Everybody, thank you again for stopping by. Follow or subscribe to the show. Hit the bell notification if you don't want to miss brand new episodes. And of course, as always, if you're thinking about coming to see us live for any of the Western dates, go to creeptime.com. Please, please, please get your tickets. And this weekend, actually, probably the day after this episode airs, there might be a surprise coming your way that applies to all creepers. A little holiday surprise on behalf of Stu
Yes.
and I. You're too Martha Mays.
Yes. You're too Martha Mays, baby. Happy
But
holidays.
with that said, Miss Girl, are you ready?
Miss Other Girl, I am ready.
Let's do it. Well, I'm going to start with my first story here, which I found online, although it was anonymous and it didn't have a title. So again, I just titled it Rick. A sinister name to begin with. Are you ready?
I'm ready for Rick.
I haven't told many people about this story, and for good reason. When I was about 13, something very dark took place with me and my family, and something that I'll keep anonymous for the sake of this story. So this was back around 2009, when I had just started 8th grade that year, and we were getting close to Christmas time. I grew up in a fairly normal home. My dad had left when I was 7, and my younger sister was 4 at that time, so we ended up living with my mom full-time. When I was 10, she met Rick. I'll change his name for the sake of the story. Rick and my mom dated for roughly a year, and I remember him proposing to her a few months after he had moved in. That was when I had just turned 11, and then he eventually became my stepdad. For the most part, I really loved Rick. He was funny, and he was really involved in my life. He came to all my recitals for dance with my mom, and he always made an effort to make the house feel like it was a home and like we were a family. He was never just the guy that married my mom. But where did this end up going? Well, fast forward a couple of years into Rick living with us, everything was mostly normal, just maybe the occasional fight between him and my mom, and we'd even argued once or twice, because I was getting to the age where I wanted to go to parties with other kids in my grade, and he had a weird hard line where Rick always hated the idea of co-ed parties. We locked horns a ton as I was getting to teenhood, but ultimately my mom would always end up taking his side. I never really thought much of our fights, other than that they would just be passing. That was the best word to describe it, passing. But around Christmas of 2009, my world changed forever when it came to Rick. Now, I had been asking for an iPod Touch for a while, since I knew the new generation was coming out, and it was at the top of my Christmas list. We talked about gift ideas at dinner over the previous month, even before Thanksgiving, and I kept dropping hints to my mom and Rick that this was the one thing that I wanted. iPhones were still pretty expensive, so there was no way I was going to get one of those, but an iTouch, at least, would be a lot closer to that. I'd had my suspicions for a while that Rick was really considering going in with my mom so that they could get one, even though he had been playing it cool at the dinner table most times, and every time I had brought it up, it led to something where he said, I don't think we're going to do that. But then I did something I wouldn't normally do. I waited for a day over the weekend when him and my mom would usually go out grocery shopping together. Because I was 13, I was fine to hang home alone while they took my little sister with them. This was my chance while they were out. Rick had 2 laptops, one that he used for work, and then one of his which was personal, and I was convinced that if I could get into one of them, I would be able to see if he had ordered my iTouch already. So I first started with his work laptop, which I opened, and it had a password. And it looked like it was a company login on the screen, so I couldn't get in, and I ended up switching over and sneaking into the other bag, his computer bag, which had his personal laptop. It was in the upstairs closet in my mom and his bedroom. I pulled it from the bag and set it on my mom's bed, and I opened it, and luckily there was no password. So I ended up clicking the browser, hoping that I would see maybe an Apple page that was opened recently, but it wasn't. He had closed all of the previous windows, all of the previous tabs. So I opened up another browser again. This was when I had the idea to check the history. I knew this felt wrong
God.
to do, and if I'm honest, I was actually a bit scared about what I was going to find. Yes, I was hoping to find maybe apple.com or even iTouch in any of the search words, but I was also mentally preparing for something like porn when I searched. My curiosity got the best of me.
Sorry. Oh, Lord.
But what I found was something a lot more twisted. In his search history, I will never forget reading it clear as day. How to kill with cyanide.
No.
The immediate feeling I got in my stomach was sinking. Something felt so wrong, like it wasn't going to be the same in reading that out of context. Under it was a list of similar searches, the ones I remembered saying, how to kill without detection, cyanide poisoning in young female. I didn't want to believe it, but what I realized was that I was looking at a search history of what looked like a plot to kill me. All while in process of me snooping in hopes to find a Christmas gift receipt. Long story short, I'd closed everything up and I told my mom in a private conversation the next day while Rick was out. And without any hesitation, she called the police. And after an in-person interview with me, a team came in and confiscated his computer and Rick was arrested on suspicion. If you're wondering if he ended up going to prison, he didn't. Clear as I was that I was somehow the subject of this poisoning plot, they couldn't prove much of anything from his search history in terms of intent, other than that he described it as his own morbid curiosity. He was immediately out of the house, and my mother divorced him, and ended up filing a restraining order, which, by the way, she did not get. And although Rick was removed from our lives in an instant, I'll never really know if what he was searching was true. Was it really his plan to poison me and my sister, or was it just some sick, morbid idea that he wasn't really considering? Or could I have been at the receiving end of murder?
Oh my God. Can you imagine?
No, I cannot. I would. That is one of the scariest ideas to me, though. Somebody that you trust in your family, secretly turning on you. That's diabolically scary.
Well, and it was her stepdad, right?
Mm-hmm. Who she thought of like as a
who
father.
She thought was like her dad.
Yeah.
Oh,
that made my upper lip sweat.
God, talk about upper lip sweat. It's hiding under
I
here.
was gonna say, how did you even put that on? How?
Thank God I found my spirit gum. I couldn't find it, and I was like, I might just have to like do some makeup. Found the spirit gum, and I was like,
it looks pretty great. I gotta say. Also, we both have the same beauty mark.
I know. Oh my God. Oh,
I'm obsessed with it.
I am too.
That's so scary, though.
That is so freaking scary.
Damn, Rick.
Cyanide poisoning, and her sister.
Yeah.
All just for that little iPod Touch.
Don't go snooping, but if
don't
you do,
go snooping.
You might save your life from what it looks like.
Yeah. Oh,
don't go snooping. Exactly, you should go snooping.
Exactly,
that's what just happened in this moment.
That's a good idea. Oh my God! Also, not me hacking up a lung right after you said porn.
I knew that was what caused it too. I was hoping to find maybe porn, and you go.
Creepers, if you don't have premium, when we were recording the other night, our premium episode, there were multiple times just trying to keep the cough back where Silas would drop a bomb and I would just be like,
it did start to, it's because I'm very paranoid because I just finished The Last of Us that you started to sound a little bit like a clicker at a point where you're like, case in point.
Well, baby, never say never. Okay. Whew, that's gonna be a tough one to follow. Good Lord,
Isn't
that
that
one was
nuts?
really scary. Yeah.
The other one that I picked, to me, is worse. It's worse.
Oh God.
Make that face again. Get really close and make that face. Oh no.
Little cookies or something.
Little cookies or something. No. Give me those babies.
Give me those babies. Okay, this one did not have a title, so I also just dubbed it Creepy Xmas in the Poconos, but it's from someone named Greg Storm. And here we go. It was December 2022. My girlfriend Charlotte and I were driving to the Poconos. We had rented a super cozy looking Airbnb, decked out with Christmas decorations, and it was nicely located with a Nice view, big property, and not far from a cute little village. To make things even more festive, there was a snowstorm coming that night, so we set out on the road a little earlier to allow us time to get groceries and get everything set up in the Airbnb. From the city to the Poconos was about 4 hours, and we made decent time. We stopped at a Family Dollar for some snacks and groceries, and then we went straight to the Airbnb. We turned towards the uphill gravel road through a clearing in the trees that led to the property. The house was surrounded by woods. It had a big deck with a hot tub on it, which was very appealing, especially the idea of sitting in it during a snowstorm. There were a bunch of Christmas decorations on the property, including some light up reindeer, a big snowman, and big decorative candy canes lining the walkway to the front deck. We had to take a few trips to and from the car to bring everything inside. And my first impression was that the place had a very comfy feeling, just as we had expected from the pictures. It had a Christmas tree in one corner, stockings hung on the walls, and a bunch of smaller decorations scattered about. It had that very welcoming smell of wood that you'd expect from a country log cabin, even though it was more of a regular house. Then I realized why. There was a stack of logs next to a big fireplace in the living room. There were 3 bedrooms, though of course we only needed one. We put our luggage and such in the second bedroom, and then I did the usual stuff like inspect the fridge, turn on the TV to see if there's cable or Netflix, and look out all the windows. There was an upstairs, but it was more of a loft with a pool table and a couple of couches, and then there was a basement. For the hell of it, I went down to check out the basement. It was fairly big relative to the size of the house. It felt disconnected from the Airbnb, though it wasn't furnished for hanging out in. It was dark and cold and felt more like a space to do laundry in than a workplace or workspace. Then there was a knock at the front door. I hurried up to answer it, and there was a guy who looked to be in his late 40s. He was wearing gray sweatpants and a ripped up yellowish brown jacket. He smiled at me and said, "How are you folks doing?" I replied, "Good," and asked him if he was the Airbnb host. He replied, he runs the place with his brother. I asked him for his name, and he said Tom. Tom said he lived just up the road next door if my girl and I needed anything. I thanked him, and then he walked away. And I found it interesting that he knew I was with my girlfriend. Charlotte didn't come to the door, but maybe his brother had told him about us. I did have a conversation with Mike, the host, about it being my girlfriend and I wanting to do something festive for the holidays. It was pitch black out and snowing. We cranked up the heat in the house and started preparing the dinner we bought, which was chicken thighs, broccoli, potatoes, and cornbread. And we ate on the couch with the Christmas tree lights on in the corner, giving the room a nice comfy glow as we watched the Polar Express. It was the only good Christmas movie on any of the streaming platforms. If you can't tell, we really love Christmas. After the movie, and when we felt we had digested enough, we went outside to the deck to hop in the hot tub. I turned on all the decorations and the Christmas lights in the front yard, and as we sat in the hot tub watching the snowfall, it felt like bliss, until the bubbles on the hot tub stopped and it went silent. We heard unmistakable footsteps from somewhere on the property. Charlotte and I looked at one another, and I asked her if I should shout who's there, but she said no. The footsteps moved further and further until they were no longer audible. I told Charlotte it was probably a deer, but deep down I knew those were the footsteps of a person.
Oh.
After the hot tub, we went to take a shower before bed. The hot water in the shower didn't last for more than maybe 2 minutes, though something was wrong. And when the water turned ice cold, we screamed and we jumped out of the shower. I messaged Mike, the host, about it, and he responded within half an hour saying, "That's odd, and that I'll have his guy come down and look at the hot water heater tomorrow." So we went back to sleep after our half shower. Or we went to sleep after our half shower. In the middle of the night, though, we awoke to very aggressive bangs on the front door of the house.
Oh my God.
Charlotte was shaking me, terrified. I said, "I'm going to go check who it is," but she demanded I stay in bed and don't make a sound. Honestly, I was glad she said that. No part of me wanted to know who was at the door in the middle of the night. I think there were 3 sets of really loud and angry sounding bangs before they stopped. We sat upright for a few minutes in silence, whispering to each other. I went over to lock the bedroom door for added security. Minutes dragged along, but Ultimately, after about half an hour of sitting wide awake, we eventually drifted back off to sleep. First thing in the morning, I messaged Mike again about the knocks at the door. He answered more quickly this time, seeming pretty confused, like us. He basically said he said how strange that is. He didn't know why anyone would be roaming around late at night like that. He said if anything like that happens again, that we should alert the authorities. Honestly, not the most reassuring response, but I mean, he was right. What else could he tell us? Grab a gun and shoot whoever was at the door? I didn't want to keep complaining to Mike constantly, but I mean, these were some very valid concerns I was bringing up to him. There was a lot of snow outside, and it was a dark, cloudy day. There were some flurries falling onto the ground. I went out to wipe the snow off my Jeep, and while I was doing so, I noticed footsteps in the snow.
No.
They looped around the house. I remembered the knocks from the night before and wondered if it was the same person, but these footprints looked fresh, and it snowed all night. Surely the footprints from last night would have filled in by now. I heard footsteps approaching now, actually, and I saw Tom walking from around my car. I told him about the hot water heater problem and that Mike said they were sending someone to take a look at it. He said he knew and that he was here to take a look at it, actually. I also told them about the knocks at the door that night and the footprints in the snow. I even showed him. He looked at them and said, "There's a lot of strange folks out here, and they go snooping around at night." I asked if we should refrain from using the hot tub at night then, and he said, "No, that shouldn't be a problem. The people around here are harmless." He went inside into the house and walked around for a bit before walking down to the basement. He told me he'll have a look at the hot water heater. Tom seems like a weird dude, honestly. And I messaged Mike saying, "Tom's here now checking out the water heater." Mike replied back asking, "Is Tom the name of the plumber?" And I replied, "No, your brother." He replied, "What do you mean?" He said, "What do you mean he's my brother?" It started to click in my head. I responded, "Do you have a brother named Tom who runs this Airbnb with you?" And he replied, "No." Who is Tom? I hurried to Charlotte and told her to collect her things quietly. We need to get out of here. As quickly as we could, we packed our bags, grabbed all of our stuff, and brought it outside to the car.
Packing bags? What?
In one trip. I'm sure we left behind a charger or something small, but who cares? We got in my car, and when I started it, I looked in the rearview mirror. I saw Tom quickly approaching the rear of the Jeep. I put it in drive and drove out of there as quickly as I could. When we were back on the road, we called Mike and explained everything and told him he needs to call the police now. He didn't stay on the line with us for long, but 20 minutes later, he called us back. We were in the car, and he said the police were there now and didn't see anyone in the house.
No.
Mike was on his way to the house as well, but he was mostly calling to get more details from us. We drove around the area and explored just as a way to calm our nerves after what just happened. After a few hours, we drove home. Mike messaged me later that night, updating me and apologizing for everything. He said he didn't know anyone who resembled my description of Tom. What disturbs me is that man was watching us the entire time, from the moment we arrived to when we were in the hot tub.
My
and
God.
He was probably the one banging on the front door in the middle of the night. Who knows what his intentions were, but it's a good thing we left when we did.
Oh my God.
Oh,
No.
a fake Airbnb host.
Please don't.
It's
put
already
this into
dark
the
enough.
universe.
I know.
You know how many Airbnbs we're going to be in the next 2 months?
Stop. Don't even. Do we have hot tubs?
We might.
We might.
There are accommodations.
In the snow in Salt Lake City.
Also, I have to say, that was scarier than my story, but also you telling it with this nose, double scary.
When I was going to take a couple of breaths and I felt it go. It's too much, baby.
Oh my God, baby.
It's too much. I'm done with prosthetics for 365 days.
I want to do, see, I wish I want to do one next. I don't know what
Okay.
our next costume will be, but like I haven't done one yet. I want to do one.
I know, because you really, you could do the whole special effects makeup well. This is bootleg.
It looks good. It looks damn good. I mean, it could
Oh.
just be the camera and lighting, but like I see no lines. Meanwhile, we're doing a hard front wig today with some contour. This is my attempt to make it look like it blends into like a natural hairline contouring up at the
I
forehead.
mean, it looks good to me. I never noticed the hard front, but I know you get clocked for them, which is ridiculous.
People in my life and people who know me and care about me and love me, they'll comment and they'll be like, wow, so I guess somebody didn't want to spend money. And that's fine.
Stop.
That story, oh my God. There can be nothing scarier to me because I'll be totally honest, I'm already a little weary every time I go into an Airbnb, mostly because of hidden cameras, because I have bad experiences. I have a history with hidden cameras and being filmed and not knowing.
Yeah.
So I think about that every time I go into an Airbnb, but this is the level up. This is somebody actually posing as your host or someone who knows you. Can I tell you something crazy that happened to me actually? When I went with Bryce and Gabby and we went to Kansas City to see Beyonce, we stayed in a big Airbnb together. I was sitting in the living room of the Airbnb just on my phone, like having some downtime midday, and somebody started to unlock the door. And I was like racking my brain because naturally, like when you're on a trip with multiple people, you're like, maybe somebody left, maybe somebody like ran out somewhere to like grab something at a store. But then after like 3 seconds of them unlocking it, I remembered Gabby's in her room, Bryce is in his room. So I'm like, who is about to open that door?
Stop.
A man walks in to the Airbnb holding a bunch of towels. He was clearly the host or like a cleaner or something and sees me and he goes, oh my God. That's our thumbnail. He goes, oh my God. And I was like, hi. He goes, I'm sorry.
Outfit.
Yeah.
Hi.
A man walks into my Airbnb. I go, my heart belongs to someone else.
It's too good. Oh,
baby.
God. Wait, so did anything happen?
I think he didn't even explain himself. He genuinely just ran out.
He dropped the towels.
No, he didn't even. And I could have used extras. He took the towels with him, but he was clearly somebody. It was disarming to see him with the towels because I was like, okay, you're like cleaner or like host or something. But he didn't explain himself. And we never got a message about it in like the Airbnb chat.
Oh my God. That's so weird.
Who knows?
So, yeah.
Have you ever had a weird Airbnb experience like that?
I was just trying to remember.
Everybody's got one.
I know. I don't think I've stayed like in someone's guest house before on their property, and that's always like a little weird because they feel like you're kind of, it's this weird thing where you're not actually like boarding in a room in their house, which in my opinion, if I were an Airbnb host, I'm just letting you do your thing. I'm probably barely speaking to you, but I know a lot of Airbnb hosts like to like, really dial up the rapport with you and kind of.
I don't want that.
Like,
no,
please
no.
don't. But
like I rent entire apartments only. I don't do rooms. I don't do none of that.
I'm the same. But I rented a guest house that was on this person's property, and it was like every time I came out of the door, they were right there. I was just like, hey.
I've only ever done it once. It was when I was driving from Connecticut to Los Angeles when I was like 23, 24. It was my first time doing it, and I rented a room in a place in Aurora in Colorado. But they were not like that though. They weren't up anybody's ass. They were like in the basement only. That's like where they lived and worked, and they had like renovated it into like a whole studio apartment, and it was kind of like a bed and breakfast because like there were multiple rooms and everybody had their own room and had like your own lock to it and everything. But I don't want an Airbnb host who's like,
no.
I feel very Delta right now with these nails and like these cuffs.
Yeah, you're giving Delta a little bit.
I don't want an Airbnb host. Leave me alone. I want to go to a restaurant, come home, and I want to go in my room.
That's so funny. She just posted one of the funniest things about Walmart. Like Walmart shoppers, like the people that are like personal shoppers, I guess, and like putting things in the cart for other people. I kind of forget what she said, but the delivery of it, as always with Delta, is like perfect. Oh my God.
She makes me feel great about loving chain restaurants. She makes me feel good about that.
She just makes me feel good about complaining.
Same, because I often agree with her. I almost always often agree with her. There was a take she had recently that I did not agree with, and it was something about how chili is not a soup, I guess. And I guess it's not. But I also don't know if I'd call it like, I don't know, a sandwich. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, what is it if not not in the soup category?
Right. Like, how does she feel about gazpacho?
Us looking like this, talking about like, is chili a soup or not?
Well,
This is madness.
this is madness.
Well, I do have another story for you.
Oh, I'm ready.
This one's a little bit longer.
Ooh.
I will warn you.
Okay, good. No, I like it when they're longer.
Only because I think the setup is pretty important to this. The context is very important. Again, it did not have a name and it was found anonymously, although there are videos of it on YouTube that I found. So I'm just going to name it Tracy. Which is a crazy name. Tracy's a crazy name.
Tracy and Rick.
Tracy and Rick, honey. I could have named it something else, but I think Tracy, when you hear the story, you'll be like, Tracy's
It's
fitting.
Tracy.
Okay. When I was newly single, after my 2-year relationship ended, I was back living alone again and back to swiping on Tinder and all those apps. I had been single for a few months already and had met a few people in that time. During that time, I matched with a girl on Tinder named Tracy. She gave me her Snapchat, but it quickly fizzled out into just her watching my stories and not really communicating. That kind of used to happen all the time when I was in college, but now, being in my late 20s, using Tinder and being reminded of how immature all of this online dating stuff feels, it's a lot different at this age. I own a corner townhome in a little community. If you're wondering what I do, I'm an accountant. Good money, but miserably boring. After my ex moved out, I thought I would be ready for the privacy and the peace and quiet, but I'd say after the first month, the novelty of that wore off. Maybe I'm more of a relationship person, or I just need people around, but being alone was getting to me. That's why I was constantly swiping on dating apps, trying to go on dates just to get out of the house. This was last December. I posted something on my Snap story that had to do with Christmas. And guess who commented on my story? It was Tracy, that Tracy girl who hadn't spoken to me in weeks. She struck up a conversation about doing some Christmas themed stuff together, and from there we started to chat a little bit. I suggested the most festive things I could think of: ice skating, going to the village, and looking at the decorations. But she suggested we decorate my Christmas tree. Firstly, I did have a fake tree, but it was up in the attic, so I told her I didn't have it up yet because it was kind of a two-person job getting it out of the attic. But she said she'd gladly come over and help, so I figured, why not? I told her to come over around 9 that night. It was already dark at that point, and we had made the plan. It was likely getting to be around 7:30 p.m. because I remember I hurriedly grabbing my keys and rushing out to drive to the liquor store to buy a couple of bottles of wine. When I got back to the house, I vacuumed and swept the floors. Ever since my breakup, the things my girlfriend would do to clean the place were now left to me, and I realized how quickly a place can get dirty. And I'm sure you did, buddy. 9 p.m. rolled around, and I was low-key sitting upright on the couch with the TV on, pretending like I was just chilling in my living room watching a movie already. Meanwhile, I had set everything up to be cozy and relaxing. But I sat there for a while, waiting for her to message me or for the doorbell. I sent a follow-up saying, "Let me know when you're on your way." And I eventually started to think she was flaking. Until finally, around 9:30, she said she's outside. She came inside, and I was shocked to find that I was looking up at her. She was a couple of inches taller than me, and I'm 5'10", so she had to be at least 6 feet tall. I also immediately picked up on the fact that she smelled like she was drenched in perfume. She went straight to the couch and sat down, and she sat really, really close to me, like our legs were touching. This was where I started to get confused about how exactly I was feeling. She looked a bit older, maybe a little rougher. I'm not sure how to explain it. Underneath the overpowering smell of cheap perfume, I couldn't help but feel like there was a slight hint of body odor, which completely turned me off. I asked her if she wanted wine, and she said, "Yes, please." So I went and poured a couple of glasses as we talked. Have you ever met someone for the first time that you've been texting or DMing for a while, and when you finally meet, they just end up being nothing like you pictured in your head? That was pretty much this. Something about her just felt off, like she lacked certain social cues. I handed her a glass of Merlot, and we cheers together. I swear, she almost immediately spilled a huge drop of red wine on my light blue couch. I composed myself, but I wanted to scream. I said, "It's okay." I ran to the kitchen and I got a damp paper towel and a sponge. I ran back to the couch and blotted it as quickly as I could before it would settle. She kept apologizing, and I kept saying, "It's okay, it's okay." After this, it got a little more tense, and to break the tension, I suggested I get the tree from the attic. I went up to the attic, slid over to the giant box where all the tree parts were in, and I started handing down pieces one by one, each piece getting bigger until we got to the biggest part, the part that I wouldn't be able to handle going down the ladder on my own. She grabbed it with ease. I had to remember this girl's size. Once everything was handed down, I went back down and we assembled the tree in my living room with Christmas music playing. I poured her more wine and I drank more myself. Wine makes any situation feel better. Once we had the tree set up, next were the ornaments. I told her my ornaments were all in the crawl space. These ornaments were all from my childhood. My parents gave me bins and bins of Christmas decorations, so I went down to the crawl space and one by one started taking out the bins while I left Tracy in my living room to relax. As I was doing this, I started feeling woozy, like the wine was getting to my head. I've never been a heavy drinker, so I do have a low tolerance, but I felt like I had drunk that. I felt like I hadn't even drunk that much to feel this way. I grabbed the first bin and started lugging it up the stairs.
Oh, God.
By the time I got to the top, Tracy wasn't anywhere in sight. I assumed she was in the bathroom at first, and I called her name. I looked around each room and then saw that the bathroom was empty. I scratched my head in confusion as I kept calling her name. I went to message her Snap, but she never opened the Snap. I checked the 2 bedrooms too, but she was gone. I couldn't believe this. She snuck out on me. This was when I started wondering if she thought I was ugly or weird or something, and truthfully, I wasn't even really that into her. I crashed onto the couch when suddenly I felt a lot more comfortable than before. Honestly, as far as I remember, I periodically checked my phone to see if she had opened my Snap and just watched whatever was on TV until my memory just faded to black. Everything just went black. When I woke up, I was in darkness. No lights. No TV on. I looked around the dark room, and I knew I was hearing things. I felt like I was still on the couch and felt very weak. My limbs were hard to move, but I managed to find my phone right under me within seconds. As the phone screen lit up, the glow revealed the outline of a tall person's silhouette standing in front of me.
Ah, oh, my God.
For some reason, I didn't scream. I just put the phone down, bringing the room back to darkness. I finally opened my mouth to say, "Tracy," hoping it was her, but still not. In that moment, remembering what had happened earlier. Whoever was standing there didn't answer me. I eventually picked my phone back up and turned on the flashlight, and I saw that it was in fact Tracy standing in front of me. She wasn't moving. She was just looking down at me.
Ah.
I felt locked to the couch. I don't know if it was because of pure fear or the effects of whatever had obviously been laced with my wine. I genuinely was having a hard time moving my limbs. I felt weak and helpless. All I could manage to say was "Tracy" a couple of more times. She then turned towards the stairs, and I swear she sprinted towards them. All I heard were the disturbingly loud stomps of her running down the stairs. I heard something slam from downstairs. Looking back, I'd imagined it was the front door. Everything looked and sounded so wonky in those minutes after I woke up. Each passing minute, I felt more and more clear-headed and moving became easier. I checked Snapchat to see if her account was gone, aka she blocked me. I looked out the front window and saw no cars outside besides my own and the neighbors. Then I realized I never saw the vehicle she arrived in, or if she even arrived in one. I checked my entire home from top to bottom looking for anything that could have been stolen. The only items found missing seemed to be kind of bizarre at first, but honestly made much more sense soon after. Every last bottle of pills in my house was gone. All of my vitamins and supplements, my bottles of Adderall, and even my bottle of Oxy that I had prescribed but had never fully used after a surgery. Those were in the drawer next to my bed. I noticed a bottle of vodka had been taken from my mini fridge in my room too, but other than that, I didn't see anything else that could have been stolen. Still, I called the police right after and reported the robbery. I gave the Snapchat username and explained that I had never gotten her number or knew anything about her identity minus what she had given me. The name she gave me was Tracy Gibson, so that's what I told them. The police knocked on the neighbors' doors since all of the homes were attached, and even though it was 1 a.m., with me standing next to them, they questioned if he had seen or heard anything, to which he said no, he had been asleep. After about 20 minutes, the police left. I made sure all of my keys were still in their place to make sure she couldn't get back in. But other than that, this Tracy person disappeared without a trace. I knew her behavior was quirky and wonky from the first few minutes of meeting her, and it makes so much sense now. I won't even call it a theory because I just know this is the truth. I think that girl, or woman I should say, was older than she claimed, and she was potentially homeless with a serious drug addiction. I think she drowned herself in perfume to mask the body odor that was honestly still showing through. She laced my wine with something when I was in the attic. Clearly, I don't know exactly how long I was out, but it was enough for her to scour the entire home for any and all drugs and supplements. I still remember how disturbing of an image it was, seeing her tall silhouette standing in front of me while I was just waking up on the couch.
Oh my God. Ew, 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 ew. That is so... Obviously, the idea of getting basically roofied on a Tinder date is scary enough. To wake up, to come to in pitch black, but be able to make out the silhouette of the person, nightmare material. That's nightmare material.
The way that I would play dead so immediately, so instantly, without fail. My lash is falling off.
Your lash, rip it off. I'll rip off the nose.
No.
Not
Don't
my
you touch
nose.
that nose.
I know.
It's so scary. The thing is, like, having a first date to your home, never a great idea, ever.
Yeah.
But I can certainly understand how a guy like this might think that he's, like, totally safe. He's like, it's fine. She's, like, probably a nice girl. She's just going to come over. And then a 6-foot-tall woman walks through your door with a strange disposition and masked body odor.
Doused in perfume.
Very specific. I was like, something's wrong.
There are a couple people I have encountered in my life that have doused themselves in either cologne or perfume. And I gotta say, there's a through line there that each one of those individuals was a little off the rocker, off the rails.
Have you ever had a crazy Tinder date or like crazy experience where like someone has like been acting strange?
I know. I was just trying to remember that. There was one date that I had in New York where I got up, went to the bathroom, and I left. And just said, I'm so sorry I had to leave. Me this.
Yeah. Wait, you told him, actually?
Yeah. I texted and was just like, I'm so sorry, but I had something came up.
Was it just from the get-go like, this is
It was
not
just
good.
so awkward. It was so painful. And we were sitting at a bar together, just like having to talk, like this. And I was just like,
it's intimate.
It's so intimate. And I was just like, I can't do this. And I can't carry the conversation for that long when I'm just so disinterested. If he was talking the whole time, that would have been one thing, but he wasn't talking.
Oof.
What about you? Have you ever had a bad Tinder date?
Well, yeah. I didn't mean to give that to Lincoln.
You were like, it was last night.
I said, well, yeah, I did. Well, this is my point of like, don't invite people over to your place to have like a little like first date drink on the balcony or something, because I certainly had somebody who showed up back at my door, back at my home.
Was saying what? Let me in there?
Asking to hang out because I wasn't responding to them. Showed up to my, which was in an apartment building. So I'm like, so you got past the first layer of security, which is the goddamn door, and then got your way back up to my door after I haven't been talking to you, communicating with you. That was crazy.
That's so scary. Did you open the door and were you just like, no?
Yes, I confronted him. I opened it and I said, you're crazy. And he went away.
Oh my God, you're crazy. Also in that
You're
outfit.
acting crazy. Go to sleep.
Go to sleep. You're crazy.
He was one of the scarier ones, but I think there's definitely something there that's scarier. Because I've had a lot of encounters.
I know. Well,
I should have I've had a lot of encounters.
One fluttering eyelid. I'm trying to think. I know that I've had friends that have had really bad Tinder encounters, like bad first dates. And I won't out them. But I know I've had friends where they've done that, where they've had, because I totally am on your side. I do not invite somebody over to my home for a solid couple of dates, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, you really, well, also, you're an on-camera personality. I mean, you got to be careful who you let into your circle, honey.
Well, especially in this mug. Are you kidding?
I was going to say. You meet up with them. You go, I'm so excited. You know, Stu, she's on this podcast. And you show up and this is exactly how you look. You go.
And I'm like, hey. Oh, my God.
Isn't this antique, darling?
Darling, it's 100 years old.
This, however, is new. The muscles.
Oh, God. You
This
know
wig.
what? I wish I don't know if you researched this costume, but the holiday ball outfit, like the red dress with the stuff in her hair. I was like, I wish I could pull that look off.
I thought about doing a pivot last minute where I was going to try to use this wig to do an updo,
do
that. And it just seemed too involved for some reason. Honestly, I was mostly concerned. The costume I was less concerned about. It was the makeup, because I was like, this is really hard. It was, for me, it was really hard.
Really? It looks bomb. Like, I know I'm gassing you up too much, but it, like, you look seriously
First of all,
beautiful.
the eyelash, the eyelash, the Billie Eilish, she's falling off my eye right now. I sound like Morgan Wade. Kyle Richards, I love you.
Kyle,
I don't know why you gotta talk like a little girl like that. She's just not being nice to you. Tell me that's not how Morgan talks.
That is literally her voice. They don't talk anymore, do they? Like, at all?
I literally just saw a leak the other day that Morgan and Kyle went to go get a double date brunch with Harry Hamlin and Lisa Rinna.
Hello? You should have crashed.
Wait.
Can you imagine showing up to, like, Villa Blanca or wherever the hell they were? Although I guess they would not dare go to Villa Blanca. But
they would not.
You just pull up and go, hey, Lisa, it's me from CreepTime the podcast.
Wow.
You commented. Wow.
I loved that. So good. I mean, I hope Christine will see what we're doing here today. And she'll have some opinion about it. She's also on the Gilded Age.
I was going to say, did you ever watch the Gilded Age?
No, but I had friends who were devout, loved it.
Really?
Loved it, yeah.
Because I feel like if I know how much you love The Crown, that you might like the Gilded Age.
That's what they told me. That's
Yeah?
exactly what they said. How they tried to sell it.
Yeah. Well, my mom watched it. I watched a couple episodes with her. It's slow at first. Kind of. I'm sure The Crown.
Is it like Downton Abbey? That's the vibe, though, right?
Very similar. Yeah, super similar.
I was getting my phone out ready so we could do some Q&A stuff.
Some Q&A. I know.
Hold on.
Let me take this. Let me do a little. Dun, 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 dun. Oh,
Mr. Mayor.
Oh, a little Q&A, a little holiday Q&A. We haven't done this in a hot minute.
We haven't. Did I have a crush on the Grinch? Well, of course not.
Oh, what's the name of the mayor? Does he have a name?
He does, doesn't he? Mr. Mayor.
Brett.
Brett. You know who I actually thought about being last minute was in the very, but this is so niche, nobody would know it. In the very beginning of the movie, when they climb up to like Mount Who or whatever to like go antagonize the Grinch, and she goes, "Oh, touch it." She goes, "Do it for me, Stu." Because Stu is said, I was like, maybe I should be Stu. Like,
my family used to say that to me all the time after that movie came out. Do it for me, Stu. And I was just like, I hate that.
Oh no. Okay, I'm happy I didn't do it then. I thought it'd be funny.
No, I mean, it would have been great if you did it, but there was a time where it got overused.
I'm so sorry.
Oh my God.
You saw that?
No.
That's it. Did you see that?
Did you see that?
Did you respect it?
Did you spit in this soup?
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
These lashes hanging on for
Hanging
dear
on by a
life.
thread.
Not
Oh
even
my
on.
God. If we had a fan, it would be like
Gone.
gone.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Oh, this is interesting. This is from Taylor_ma_body.
Ooh, girl.
Your favorite color to wear, to eat, and to display. That is a unique question. I don't think we've ever been asked something like that.
That is very unique. I think my favorite color to wear is green.
Interesting.
My favorite color to eat.
You know, there's a theory about that you can help heal parts of your mental health by eating certain colors.
Really? Maybe like green foods and stuff?
Like, well, no, like quite literally, like if you're eating things that are like exclusively yellow, not even just like in the fruits and vegetables category, but like foods and spices that are yellow or red,
Interesting. Okay.
blue.
Blue. Food. I guess I kind of all my foods I eat are very like beige, bland. Like
Like
I
what?
don't know. I love a turkey sandwich. I love snacks. That's my problem. I'm
You're a big
more of a
popcorn eater.
snacker.
I feel like you
I'm a
eat a lot of
huge popcorn
popcorn.
person. Huge popcorn. That's why I have again like no teeth.
The popcorn can't hurt you, can it?
Those kernels, baby.
The kernels.
They get
chew on
back
those
in there. I've had like root canals before where they're like, do not eat anything crunchy. And then I'm like,
No,
so
you do, that's what it
stupid.
is. You do like a crunchy bite.
Love a crunch. And then what was the other one that you like
Um,
to wear, eat,
display. Well, I thought display
Dis-
is the same as like I guess like in your home, like
in your
decor
home?
wise.
Yeah.
Huh. Green
Uh
is mine for my home. I
yeah,
have
yeah,
green
yeah.
everything.
I don't know if I can pick one color because you kind of know my vibe. It's like it's a little bit of everything. But I love green. Um,
I think
blues and whites maybe.
yeah, I think of you with pastels, but I also don't think that's right. I just
I
think of
think
you
that's
in like the palette of pastels.
yeah. I think that's probably kind of on the money.
On the money, baby.
On the money, baby.
She's a mob wife. That's who this is. Yes.
Renee, did you watch Mob Wives?
No.
Oh my God. Again, this is how I know I'm sick in the head. I have bought episodes.
Bought.
Bought. Maybe I am bought and
you're like
sold
my
by
brother, but
reality
he does
television.
this stuff with like Jersey Shore. He owns Jersey Shore on DVD, like all seasons and spinoffs.
We actually should be checked into the same institution. It's disastrous.
Coming up for our next costume idea, Jersey Shore.
I
can do it. I'm Italian. I can do it.
Oh my God,
I would.
I've already got the bump it in the wig. I could repurpose that wig.
I could be Pauly D tonight.
Bitter and all. Okay, let's see. Ooh, this is interesting to ask you. What is a case you were terrified to cover?
Oh, interesting. Well, the very obvious ones are the really, really well-known cases. Like Ted Bundy was very intimidating to cover just because it is so well-known. Same with Natalie Holloway. Like those are so well-known that you're opening yourself up to a lot of scrutiny, no matter how hard you work to cover every detail. But when it comes to the actual content of the case, the ones that really frightened me, Jessica Chambers really, really bothered me to do and to research. And it was the first time in almost 2 years of us doing this that I started to have nightmares about a case we covered. Yeah.
Was it something about like the fire?
Yeah, it was the fire. And I had also, again, I had gone too deep into it and I had found a lot of court footage and I had seen photos of the body after the burn. And I think that was what really messed with me a little bit. It feels not right to talk about looking like this, but that was the one that came to my mind. Did you have one that was really intimidating or scary for you to cover?
I'm trying to think because it's that weird. I don't know if this is the feeling you experienced, but it's almost like where you've researched so much that you're like, kind of what you just said, I shouldn't be doing this. Like it just feels too intense to even be like bringing on a podcast almost is how I feel. And I'm trying to remember. BTK was pretty gross to me. Like I remember feeling when I went to cover it that I was kind of just pissed off by it. Like cuz it was so gross to me and
It was
he
a
was
really,
so
really
gross and
tough
like,
case. And he got away with it
yeah,
for so long too, right?
yes. Definitely a theme for us. The cases that really bother me are the ones where it's like they lead to lives.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Which can be a lot of them, to be honest. I mean, we don't look at many that are kind of like Night Stalker-ish, where like they just exist 100% of the time as
yeah.
an evil killer.
You know what case stuck with me so long that you covered was Rebecca Zahau.
Really
I don't
interesting.
know what it was about that one, but that one actually kept me up at night.
Still very strange. And you know what's crazy? I didn't expect there to be so much discourse around that case of people like combating the theory that it could have been the husband, or I think it was the brother-in-law is the theory. There are so many people who combat that and reject it and say that it's like a flat out suicide. And I'm like, that is so interesting.
That is really
Given all that
interesting.
was presented, I find that interesting that people come to that conclusion.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly.
Yeah. Something about the like, because that was the one where she messaged or wrote a message in blood, right?
I forget if it was blood or if it was paint, because
Or
there was paint, like black
paint.
paint in the room, but
That's
it
right.
was well above her eye line. Like whoever it was written by, if it was written by her, she would have been reaching up to the top of her like wingspan, basically, to write it on the door.
Yeah, something about that is just so gross to me.
You don't got to tell me. Like, I know.
You were there.
I have a question for you. Let's see. Oh, this is from nen.es, so nen.s, let's say. First of all, love your show. Thank you so much. And just wanted to ask, what are your plans for the new year?
Plans for the new year? Like our show, I guess she's asking.
Well, I guess for CreepTime, but also like, what are your goals for 2025? Let's start with your journey.
I think my goal for 2025.
You with this nose talking about future goals.
There's no goal. You know what I think? It's been a whirlwind of a year, and just to be calmer and just be at peace would be my goal for 2025. Yeah, because I think when life is really peaceful, things just kind of like fall into place. So I think that's going to be my goal.
That's a great goal.
Yeah.
And a goal that I think other people should take too.
Yeah.
That's a great goal to share.
Oh, thank you. What's a goal for you?
I would like to prioritize more attention to like physical practices. I've been thinking a lot about that because I remember like in college, I had such like a diligent physical practice and routine. And I feel like just from life and like the show and how many things have to happen at like different times and like schedule changes, I get very disrupted schedule wise. So my goal for 2025 is to find a really consistent schedule with what I do physically, albeit working out or even taking time to meditate, my sleep schedule. I really want to find consistency. It's a very real answer, again, to be in like full drag at saying it, but it's what I want.
It's okay. It's probably what Martha May would want too. She's going to Pilates every morning.
You've got to stretch.
On that reformer.
Well, good night, Betty.
Do you have a physical practice that you kind of lean towards, like a yoga or
well, I do go to the gym now regularly, and I do the same workout that I've done for years, which is just a strength training workout. I'll lift weights.
Get those muscles right, baby.
I do. I like that. I am drawn to yoga, but I'm not very flexible. So I don't feel great about myself while doing yoga, but I do like yoga. I'm trying to be more flexible.
I will never drag you to a core power class, I promise.
And I won't go. And
I probably won't go anymore. So
let me ask you. Oh, wait. Hold on.
I was just saying, I think.
I want to ask you another question, though.
Oh, okay.
We've answered this before, but I think we should tell the story again. Y'all's first encounter with each other, first perception of each other. All right, you've heard my take many times, but I would love to hear what it was like coming into the room and being told you're a stage manager.
It was, well, first of all, just backing up even more, I think I really was the first one there, I believe.
You were.
This was our tour, Creepers, like when we met for our first like table read. I think I was the first one there, and other than our stage manager who had like taken me in, which is ironic given the context of this. But I remember when you walked in, I thought you were very handsome. I had prayed that you were single and straight because I was coming off of a massive breakup.
I do recall this.
And then we met, and Silas asked me if I was the stage manager. And
I have to take it off. This lash is crazy.
Take off the lash.
Do you see it?
It's so funny. It's like basically just like winged.
It's flipping this way because it's not attached on the inner corner.
Oh God, I know that pain. I know that struggle.
That's chilling.
That is chilling. That's amazing. You could just put it over your eye.
Wow. I know. Yeah, we'll just cover that.
There you go. Yeah, a little sexy sultry.
Carry on.
Part, yes.
It's very Jessica Rabbit.
Yes, very Jessica Rabbit. And I was so nervous that I had maybe misread the contract or something, and that I actually wasn't going to be in the cast, which would have just been truly like a fate worse than death, because I had really amped it up to friends and family. Like, I've booked like a actual tour of a show, and I'm gonna like perform and travel around the country. So when I thought to myself, oh shoot, like I might be the stage manager, it was definitely a humbling experience.
When did you realize that wasn't true? Like, when did the relief happen?
I think once we started, because we started reading like different parts, and we were told like, you try this, you try that.
And you realized, you're like, okay,
and I was like,
in the show. Like,
oh, and our stage manager came in and said, I'm the stage manager. And I was like, okay.
Well, that'll do it.
I was like, thank God.
I mean, to be fair, there were like understudies who were cast who like were a part of like the crew who would have to like step in. There was one male and like one female, so that could have been you, because Sarah, who might be listening to the show, I think she was originally offered a contract for that. And I think she I'm pretty sure she turned it down. But she was offered a contract to be like one of those folks, like an understudy, I think, for Jordan's track.
Gotcha. Oh, that would make perfect sense.
Or I guess both of the female tracks, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
what was your first impression of moi? Stage manager.
I was like, well, that's our stage manager. I would think I was too busy thinking about the interaction I just had with Jordan in the elevator coming up, because it was really tense. And I was just like, because one, I was like categorizing people. I was like, this is like crew and this is like cast. And I already thought you were in the crew.
This old hack.
Whereas Jordan, I had asked deliberately, like in the elevator, I was like, are you in the cast? And I think it was just like two like awkward like meetings, because she was like, and this was so like funny in hindsight. I love Jordan, but she was like very quiet. She was like, yep. And I was like, cool. I was like, do you know like which like part like they'd considered you for, like what you're like in for? And she's like, I don't know. It was like one word answers for the whole elevator ride. And I was like, okay.
So funny.
But I don't remember much else of that day. There were donuts. I remember donuts. And I remember reading for several other parts.
Yeah. That was so unnerving that we had to read a bunch of different parts. Like, we got there and we still didn't know who the heck we were playing.
When I was in New York, I was talking to Gabe, who's a friend of Scott and Gavin's, and Gabe did the tour a year or two before us, and he was in the Telltale Heart track and also Ichabod. Try to imagine. Go back and imagine like that sequence and like doing the Raven into Telltale Heart and then becoming Ichabod Crane.
No, ma'am.
Creepers, for context, there is a transition. The transition, like costume wise and like prosthetic application wise, would be 60 seconds maybe.
There's no way that spirit gum was dry.
So I was like, did your nose fall off like constantly? And he was like, never fell off, but it was never secure.
Yeah.
Ever. He was like, it was always just like, well, if it happens, it happens, I guess.
As someone that can feel this about to pop off, I cannot imagine the distraction.
I honestly don't even remember what you looked like before that.
I don't think I know who I am. Looking at me now,
she was always looked like this. Oh, I really wish I had that. If we both had that, how good would that be?
This is the outfit I'm about to go knock on the door of my creepy neighbor and say, "How
What's
are
his name
you?
again?
You ready for that drink, Michael?"
Michael.
Now he'd love you. Wait, let me ask you a question.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. This is from AEA Faux Life. What is your fave Starbucks holiday drink? I love you guys so much. I run to your episodes. Love, Thea.
Thanks, Thea.
Thea,
Oh,
that's
that's so
so sweet.
sweet. I do have one. First of all, I would never go to Starbucks usually for a holiday drink because I'm a Dunkin' girl.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I got a hot chocolate the other night from Dunkin'. It was fantastic. I went to a party last weekend with a Dunkin' hot chocolate. Walked through the door with a Dunkin' hot chocolate.
Somebody try to spike it.
They did, and they were successful. They
Good.
immediately grabbed it and put Bailey's in it, and I was like, "All right, girl." Well.
Amazing. Do you know what drink is so well? It depends. Sometimes I can have it, and sometimes I think it's foul. Peppermint schnapps.
I don't know about all that.
I know. It has to be in something.
What do you usually mix peppermint schnapps with? Would it be
Well, I
like?
think some people do like a hot cocoa, like a spiked hot cocoa.
Got it. Okay.
Which I thought maybe that's what you were gonna say. But then there's some people that like will just drink chilled peppermint schnapps, and I'm like, that is of the devil.
That seems very 70s in my mind to drink schnapps, like
Yeah.
people who drink schnapps. I'm like, what are you up to?
Yeah, schnapps.
Schnapps. Peach schnapps is pretty good from what I remember, only because I think it's one of the core ingredients in Sex on the Beach or Slippery Nipple. I forget which one. But yeah, sorry to answer the question, sorry about the Starbucks holiday drinks. I like the chestnut praline drink that they have. It's actually one of my favorites that I've tried there, but also
I'm like, why am I gonna cry? It's been too long.
Oh, baby. I've heard it every day. Every time I think about it,
yeah.
I'm like, oh, we're not recording right now.
Oh my God.
But damn, is he here? So yeah, I think that's my favorite. But also, if we're talking about other holiday drinks, I love a pumpkin spice latte.
You know,
PSO.
sometimes they do just hit.
They've never not for me.
Yeah.
They've always hit me.
I know. And like, I get that everybody tries to make fun of them, but if everybody's saying they're delicious, it's for a reason.
Yeah, people I feel like never actually make fun of the drink itself. They make fun of the people who drink the drinks, and I'm happy to be one of those people. But yeah, drink hits. Sorry. I can ask you a question if you would like.
I was going to say, should I ask you another one that was quick? But
no, wait. What do you have a favorite holiday drink? You said you just like the.
I actually do like a peppermint mocha.
You like that, yeah?
I don't mind a pepper. I love mint anything. So,
do you like mint chocolate chip ice cream?
That's my fave.
Hits.
Love hits.
So slept on too. So slept. Nobody ever buys it. Nobody ever gets it. That I grew up eating, and black raspberry ice cream. My mom would get those two growing up constantly.
Oh, interesting. And together they're probably delicious.
Oh yeah. My dad is a butter pecan type. Loves that. I'm a cookie dough type of ice cream eater.
Yeah, honestly, give me a thing of is it Eddie's or Edie's ice cream? The cookie dough Edie's.
I might get it tonight. Now that we're just saying it out loud, I'm not even kidding. I might have to run down to Whole Foods and get it tonight.
Please do.
And so it shall be.
I also just did a full Martha May where she goes,
oh wow. Did you have Elf? Did y'all have an Elf on the Shelf from Thea? This is also from Thea. I think it's the same Thea. Yeah. Did you have an Elf on the Shelf growing up?
No, we did not, but we did. I think you and I are before the time of the Elf on the Shelf.
Right, because I thought it was an older tradition, but you said it was like actually in the early 2000s, right?
I think it's a newer thing because it was like all the rage, like for little girls. I like babysat and nannied and stuff. But we had one year, this was really fun, where, because I had a friend growing up in Atlanta where every year her family did on December 1st, an elf would come to the house and like trash it. And I thought that was like the greatest thing ever. And then
that is kind of cool.
Yeah, it was super fun. And so when we moved to North Carolina, I asked my mom if we could do the same thing for my little brothers. And so we like put toilet paper like all down the banister and like put dye in the toilet, which I'm kind of like, ew. But
To
we
make it
put
look like peace.
yes, like blue.
Blue
It's
peace.
blue piss. Okay. And then put like glitter everywhere, and it was just like it was super fun. And of course, like
Oh.
the boys ate it up. They were living for it. But we only did that one time, and that was the only elf experience I ever had.
When I was it was Candace, my friend Candace's birthday this past weekend, and we went to brunch, and she was telling me how her sister does Elf on the Shelf, and Candace was on the phone. Again, earmuffs if you have kids that are listening. I don't know why they're listening and watching this. But she was on speakerphone with her sister, and she didn't realize her sister's kids were in the room, and she was talking about Elf on the Shelf, and she was like, are you gonna like set up the elf tonight? And her sister like lost her mind and was like, Candace, what's wrong with you? It's like, can't you just like wiggle your way out of that as an adult though and be like, I don't know. There has to be like something you could say that will make that not seem like you're the one doing the elf. But also, why they on speakerphone? Why do you have adults on speakerphone when your kids are in the room? What's that about?
Exactly. That's so funny you mentioned that, because I remember for your families I used to babysit for, that they would forget to move the elf, and like I guess they would have to like make up something. But yeah, like what the heck would you say? Just like say that the elf was tired.
I mean,
Didn't feel like moving.
I always got fed stuff like growing up where I would ask questions because I would be like, wait, so if Santa's in the mall, how could he be in like multiple malls at once? And my mom would tell me, she was like, well, there's the real Santa. It was very like corporate response. Like there's the real Santa. And then Santa employs actors to act as representatives for him in malls. But the real Santa's busy. She's like, he's working the whole season. He doesn't have time to be in the mall.
Your mom. Sit down. Let me tell you.
Like quite literally, she was just like, I mean, he's busy. Like it was the way she said it. It was like, how do you not know that kind of thing,
That's
which made
so
it
great.
believable. So I was like, well, yeah, Santa's busy, I guess.
That's so funny.
Of course he is.
I love that. She's like, let me get out a map and show you exactly the trajectory of
she
his
was like,
route.
do the math. She's like, he's at the North Pole. How is he going to have time to get back in time for the workshop?
Oh my God.
Worked
Wait,
for
can
me.
I tell you something so sweet? And this was also only one time I think they ever did this. Also, muffle your or turn it down if you've got kids. But my dad,
or turn it off.
Turn it off. Turn it off. I
I'm
think this
sweating so
actually
bad.
was before I was born. I think it was only when Garrett was around, and my dad got up on the actual roof with jingle bells and started like pounding the roof above his bed to make it seem like Santa was there.
The things you do for the firstborn.
It's know.
Crazy. My friend's parents did that too, but they left presents on the roof. So that like when the kids like woke up and they were like, where are all the gifts? And they were like, I don't know, we got to go outside. Presents were in the lawn in the snow. Presents were in the snow on the roof near the chimney. And the dad had to get out the ladder, the theatrics of it, and be like, oh my God, they must have fallen out of the sleigh. Like the
That's
sack.
so magical.
I know, but they were rotten kids though. They didn't deserve it.
And then they turn out to be rotten.
I heard a horror story. Please guard yourself before you hear this one, creepers. I was told from my mom growing up about these kids because we didn't like them. She was just really good friends with this woman. So like we were forced to play with these kids. Something was wrong with these children. One of them was given, the younger one, I think his name was Jordan, a hamster for Christmas morning as a pet. Died that morning. Because what Jordan did as a little kid was he was throwing him up in the air and catching him like you would like, I don't know, throw up a baby or something. And certainly did not have the hand-eye coordination to catch that hamster. Dead upon impact. Hit the hardwood floor. Dead.
And that hamster was Mr. Principal.
So we got him rehabilitated at the animal hospital. And Mel took him in as a rescue. Yes.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you, they're cursed pets. They always die in the worst circumstances.
Oh my God. Just to be throwing a hamster up in the air like it's
just have your parents not be like, hey, don't do that.
Yeah.
No. Hold the hamster. Better yet, put the hamster in the cage.
I don't even want to know what that impact experience was like to witness, but I do have a visual.
I can hear the
I know.
sound of it.
I do have a visual. Okay, let me ask
please ask me a new question.
I know. Oh my God. Okay. This is a good one. From Jessie Lee Muse.
Okay.
And she said, have you ever regifted anything? And did the original person ever find out that you did?
Oh, that's interesting. I definitely have. Have you?
I'm sure I have.
I'm trying to think what I would have regifted though. I've given a lot. I give clothes to people a lot. I give a lot of
Uh-huh.
clothes away, but they're aware that those are my clothes.
Yeah.
I'm not presenting it as new. Have I ever presented something as brand new though? You know what? Okay, here's what I will say. Sometimes I'm known for like
Sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. It's almost over.
no, it's totally fine. I make gift baskets a lot seasonally for people, like little tiny gift baskets. So I will put a bunch of things that have been gifted to me through like PR packages or stuff like skincare, candles, and I'll just put them in like a little cheap basket. You dress it up with some tissue paper,
Yeah.
and I'll give that as a gift, and it presents as brand new or that I sourced everything when really I'm just clearing out the inventory.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving away the PR.
Yeah. And I think that's what a lot of influencers and creators do.
Yeah, it always comes back somehow because like whatever you send out, you give away as like a gift to somebody, you get back times 3. And then
Yeah.
I don't like to have a lot of things in my apartment.
Yeah. You're
I don't want
minimal.
anybody to send me anything.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm hoarding. I'm like,
Well,
I'm like,
you're a gift giver, so you do send a lot of gifts, and I love them, and they're so sweet. But every time I'm
oh,
like, where am I going to put it?
oh my God.
Where does
I
it
know.
go?
You know what I always think? I'm like, I need to remember to buy, because I do love giving gifts. I need to remember to buy people like experiences rather than things. Because I'm a big like memento, like object collector. And I forget
Mhm.
that for a lot of people, that's really overwhelming. Like less is more.
Thank God we have the storage unit. That's all I'll say.
All of my gifts are back there in the back.
I'm like a hand stitched embroidery piece from Stu. I'm throwing it.
Oh my God.
No, but it's they're wonderful things that you don't want to let go of. You want to hold on to them, and
Yeah.
especially the things that we've been given from creepers. I hold those like so carefully, but I do keep them tucked away in a specialty box in storage to
Yeah.
hold them safe because
Yeah.
who knows what will happen in this apartment.
In the vault, baby.
Oh
In the
wait,
vault.
let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
I just saw my eyelash on the table and it scared the shit out of me. What time is it? 1:22. I thought it was a
Spotted.
bug. I thought it was a
Yeah.
bug. Hold on. I'm just gonna read this out loud because you sent it to me and you
Oh my
wanted me
God.
to address it. It's from Emily_Mori. Can Silas make a TikTok where he does a backflip into the splits in said costume, please?
Well, can you?
Well, here we go. What would you do if I just flipped backwards?
Wait, can you do a split?
No, I'm trying though. I'm
Okay.
That's part of my flexibility routine that I'm working on now.
That's what you go and you lift your weights and then it's down into the split for
I stretch first always.
you stretch first.
I
Okay.
stretch and warm up first. And then I do cardio, and then I lift my weights, and then I do my flexibility training.
That is a whole routine. I love it.
And then I take my eucalyptus towel. I wipe my face down. I go to the chiropractor. He goes,
Oh, baby, that sounds fantastic.
it's a lifestyle.
That is a lifestyle. Meaning I was gonna say, meanwhile, I'm just running back and forth from the monuments to and
You're
from
running
my
in the
house.
middle of the night, which scares me. Like
That
literally
I
last
try
night,
not
you
to
were like,
do.
"Hold on." You're like, "I'm coming back from a walk," and I was like, "It's like 10 p.m." I was like, "What's
Well, I
going
just go
on?"
around my block. I'm not like hiking in the. Although I do have to be careful after the freaking Chandra Levy case I covered. I like never go in Rock Creek late, which is
I was
right
gonna
there.
say, I was like, I have listened to cases you've covered that warn against this exact
I know.
thing.
I know.
In
I do have to be
DC.
careful.
Oh,
Oh
I think I literally
Lord.
texted you. I was like, please be careful.
Yeah.
Here, let me ask you a real question because that was just kind of one I thought would be funny.
Yeah.
Would you ever do a tour in Europe? This is from Neil Tamstrup. Neil Tamstrup.
Neil Tam Strump twist my freaking arm. Yes. Oh my God.
I know. I would love to go. Truthfully, I would love to go anywhere. It's all based on demand from creepers. So wherever the
Yeah.
creepers are that request it, whatever the nearest cities are that they want, that's what's next on the docket. So
Yeah.
if there was a high volume of creepers from France, from
France.
Paris, who wanted to see us, then we might just have to go and Eiffel Tower it out.
Oh my God. Well, baby, be careful when you're saying that. That could have double entendre.
Pardon.
When was the last time you went to Europe?
It had to be. It was study abroad for sure.
Yeah.
So that would have been 2015, 2016, because it went into the new year.
We need to go back.
We do.
We
Well,
do.
I didn't even get to go to like. I missed out on Spain. Missed out on Paris.
I know.
Brussels.
I think you would love Spain. I don't know a single person that I've met that didn't have a wonderful time going to Spain.
Garrett.
I'm actually gonna.
And that's all I'll say on that.
My pearls.
That I just
what's so funny though?
saying that.
No. Do you know what's so funny is I almost mentioned it earlier when we were talking about your scary story, waking up and. That's all
I wasn't sure if it was an off mic kind of conversation. How much is known to the public?
And I will say it's off mic, but right. But Spain is amazing, and honestly, Scotland. I know I was
you
just
literally
there.
you came back from Scotland and you had a new lease on life. You
I
literally
actually
came
did.
back and you were like, "I'm ready for a different world."
Yeah,
something to that verbatim. I think actually it was something to that effect.
Because I remember, I think I was really strung out before that trip, and then
heroin.
I came back. And you were. I think I said to you, I just feel so much better. I feel so different. Which, like, vacation will do that, of course.
But
you said,
people don't talk about that. It's changing your environment does do.
Yeah,
that.
You said that exact thing, and I was
like, that's a very privileged thing to say, but it is true.
Yeah, but you know what? It doesn't have to be freaking Scotland. I mean, that was like a once in a lifetime family trip we had planned for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But truly, like, just even going outside like 30 minutes away to like a different, Airbnb or something can like change just reset you.
Mm-hmm.
If you can, afford to do that or whatever. But yeah, it's so true.
I agree. Completely agree.
Yeah.
I want to do more. That's my other goal for 2025. I want to do more traveling after. I know we have a whole tour planned, but
I know
I want to do more.
No, but you owe it to yourself to do, because I know you had that like Thailand trip you wanted to take for a long time.
Which was supposed to happen over the summer, but
yeah,
I still want to do it. Of course, like I immediately went to like Thailand tourism on Reddit because I was like, oh, I'll get some like good tips like early on and I'll start like stocking up. And people only, it's like next door. It's like people and like Citizen, they only post the worst stuff on there of like bad things happening in the tourist districts. And I'm like, no, I want tips. I don't want to see people who were like freaking out on
the
some
back
kind
of a
drug.
rickshaw.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like things are crazy.
Yeah.
Coming out of the ping pong show.
Oh my God. Wait, I feel like I need to ask you one. Do we have time for a couple more?
Sure, why not?
Okay, let's do it.
Who's good? What's that? What's that quote? Oh my God. Oh my God, what is that quote? I'm rewatching Atlanta. I don't know if I told you that, by the way.
Oh my God.
I started it from season 1, cleared season 1, done with the reunion. I'm on season 2.
Incredible.
Sheree says, oh my God, is she the one who says, who gonna clock me, boo? Is that her?
Who gonna check me, boo?
Yeah, who is that?
That's Sheree.
It is her?
How incredible is that scene?
I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you better
I don't think I've
buckle up. It is really crazy because I don't want to.
She wants a helicopter, right? That's like what the whole setup is.
Well, she's planned some party, and like she clearly has had. She basically walks into this party planner's office like that with sunglasses on. It's very clear that this party planner does not like her and has not liked working with her or like her team or whatever. And she kind of shows up very like she's demanding a lot of things.
She is
as
a
if
very
she's like the
demanding
queen.
person. Yeah.
And he's basically like, he flips. You're gonna die. It's like, it's crazy.
Wait, after she says, who gonna check me?
Yeah.
Does he fire her? Because sometimes you have to fire clients.
He basically does. Yeah.
I mean, from what I remember, she was asking for things that were like legally unreasonable. She was asking for a helicopter to land at the party, and they're like, okay, so there's no such thing as a permit that's going to get approved for a helicopter landing in your backyard or something.
Right.
Craziness.
Yeah, and she was acting like she was the Queen of Sheba, and like she's a Real Housewife on season 1. Like,
may I also just say, Nene going against Kim in that reunion, that whole reunion was so like unintentionally crazy because like you could tell they were all like trying to mind themselves and like sit up straight and like do the right thing and just be prim and proper. And then for Kim to allude to cancer that she did not have was step number 1, where it got crazy. And then for Nene to follow it up by saying, close your legs to married men, trash box.
Trash box.
Simple way to do it again. Do it again. You go.
Trash box.
Close your legs to married men.
Close
Trash
your legs
box.
to married men. Okay.
And Andy goes, so did you have cancer? She goes, yeah, I was sick.
I did not.
I was sick, but I they found out I did not have cancer, but they said, I'm 99% sure you had cancer. Like,
it's so nuts. It's so funny.
Her wig, I was trying to figure out like where it was, because I was like, I'm like, for a wig that looks so cheap and like crappy in terms of like the actual hair, I was like, the lace is unclockable. It's not a lace front. It's like a clip-in on top of her natural like blonde front pieces. So I was like, oh, that's why. That's her actual hairline. That's why I was like, where's the lace?
Yeah. And they're I want to say it's like season 4, maybe. The season where she like maybe it's the season after she meets Croy, the first season that she meets him, but she takes off her wig and you see her natural hair.
Is it really thin?
It's pretty thin, and it's like just fine, like blonde hair, and it's just kind of like choppy layers. It's short. It looks fine, but I mean, it is kind of crazy.
Not everybody has like big. Not everybody has big boom.
Kim would be a great Martha May.
She would, absolutely.
Oh,
so would Vicky, actually.
Vicky would be incredible. Okay. Fave. This is from Kelsey Iachetta. Fave holiday tradition now, or any that stuck from your childhood that you and your family still do today?
Oh gosh. Well, decorating the tree, of course. I'm sure your family did that together growing up. Or did someone take the lead?
It's basically me and my dad every year.
Really? I'm surprised your mom like wasn't like interested. Was she decorating other things?
She'll decorate the house to the nines, but when it comes to the tree, that's kind of known as like us, me and my dad.
Interesting. My dad he still does it. He sets up a village. He does all the lights outside and he sets up a little village.
So does my dad.
And like the dining room hutch, like with like cotton for the snow and everything. That's his, he won't give it up. He won't give that up. I
love that so much. Do you ever buy him like new houses, Dad?
No, because it's so vintage and specific. It's literally been passed down from his parents and possibly like his grandparents. So it's so specific that I don't even know if I could contribute to it. I've tried. He loves antiques and he loves vintage things, and I've tried to buy him stuff that I'm like, oh, this is of that era, and I just realized how specific his taste is.
Yeah.
He doesn't like it.
Isn't that's so funny that our dads need to have a meeting of the minds about that, because it is like my dad will not give up the houses. And my mom, like this year at Thanksgiving, she was like, we're not putting up the houses. And my dad was like, we're doing it.
I don't mind them. I think they're really cute. I'm trying to think. The toughest thing to get him to give up was doing a real tree. That was really difficult for him. Where we had to transition because we're like, we just have to do an artificial tree. It's going to be easier because nobody has time to like, one, set the thing up, get it home, like to and from, and also to water it every day.
Yeah, that's tough. Do you guys have any like food, like traditional foods you make for Christmas, like a ham or?
No, we kind of vary it up just based on what we like. I think we like all collectively were like, let's not do the traditional thing and have something we don't want. Like if we'd rather have steak for Christmas dinner, girl, let's do it. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, yeah.
Or like a chicken, like a nice like rotisserie chicken. I don't know. My dad loves making fish for Christmas time, but that's what I grew up doing. The night of the seven fishes.
Yes. Oh my God,
baby, you want to see the night of the seven fishes?
Put your camera
look no
down
further if
bit.
you're looking for. I almost broke it now.
Oh my God.
Oh,
it really is a dream of mine to go to a seven fishes dinner. I'm dead serious.
We literally had this conversation last Christmas.
I know.
I said verbatim. I said it's a lot of fish, honey.
It's a lot of
fish.
Marvel movie talk. Clip that immediately.
It's kind of great though. Like it really like there are so many creative things you can do, like crab cakes. You can do shrimp. There's so skewers. Like there's literally endless possibilities. But we'll always do a salmon, I think, around Christmas from what I remember. And my dad loves a veggie platter. And he loves to make chestnuts.
He makes chestnuts?
Yeah, well, so he just splits them and then you just butter them and salt them. And then roast them.
I saw him in the grocery store the other day, and I was wondering, like, how. I mean, obviously you roast them, but I was just like, I don't even know how to really prepare chestnuts, or if I would dare.
I forget how he splits them. I think it's pretty easy though. I think you just take a knife and you just score like an X
Yeah.
on the top from how he does it, and then don't take this as like information, but I think they just naturally kind of open up as you roast them, and then when you take them out, you can put a little butter on them and then some salt and pepper. They're good. They're rich though. They're like a rich nut.
Mm.
It's a rich nut.
Don't
baby.
clip that either.
Let me ask you a question. Wait, did you have any traditions that you like carry on to this day, or some that are exclusive to just you and your family? Because you have always decorated for Christmas for as long as I've known you.
Yeah. We're a big Christmas family. I mean, I don't know if I could call it a tradition because it's varied from years. Some years it like doesn't happen, but pretty much every year growing up, my dad so enjoyed hiding each of our big gifts. And so he got such a thrill out of like, we would open all the gifts and then it'd be like, okay, it's done. Christmas is done. And then he'd be like, John, I think there's something behind the couch. And then he'd be like, oh my God, and like run back there. And there was this like, big gift and he'd pull it out and like, it'd be the thing that he wanted for Christmas.
I love that.
He did that so many times.
I wanted to imagine that it got more and more dangerous as the years went on. It's like, John, I think there might be something up the chimney for you if you want to go take a look.
Stop. That would be like my dad.
There's something in the furnace. You know that pond that's a few meters back behind the house? There might be something under the water.
That's so accurate.
Do you think you would ever do that?
Oh, I'd love to do that. I'm such a Christmas whore. I love Christmas.
You heard it here first. As you sat here in a who knows, a Santa hat, and pearls, you said, I'm a Christmas whore.
I just freaking love Christmas. So I'm sure if I ever have kids someday, I will try to do it up probably over the top too much. But I just
listen, if you ever need a Santa, I will fly in and I will go full method.
I might need a Mrs. Claus.
Remember when we saw Mrs. Claus when we were at the Blitzens bar? Just for a sec, just like we passed her, and you and I both lost our breath because we went.
And then you and I sat down and you go, did you see Santa? I was like, I think I did.
First of all, that actress playing Mrs. Claus looked like Dorit, and then sorry, not Dorit, not Dorit, Dorinda.
Oh yeah, talk about the Queen of Christmas.
The thought of Dorit playing Mrs. Claus is crazy.
PK.
Kyle, what do you want for Christmas? Do you know?
Did you watch the new episode, by the way?
I'm on episode 3. Is the 4th out? Because I have to watch that if it's out.
I think the 4th one came out last night. I haven't watched it either.
Dorit can't catch a break. But she's earning her check this season.
She really is.
Also, I saw Camille's on. I saw a clip of that. Wasn't sure if that was the episode that's out yet or not.
That's the one that's out. That's the one that's out. I haven't seen it yet.
I need more from Erica. Erica has become a watcher, and I don't need Erica to watch. I need Erica to get in the ring.
That needs to be clipped. That needs to be passed around as a viral clip. And I will be making the cutaway after this episode.
Erica needs to not be a watcher.
She's probably in a Martha May outfit right now.
She would kill Martha May. She would do it. Oh, wait. Hold on. I literally just clicked off of it and then my nails. Oh, this is from Anne. Hi, Anne.
Hi, Anne.
It goes, hiya. Is there a toy you wanted for Christmas as a kid but never got? Oh, that's interesting.
I know I wanted the Barbie Jeep at some point. I never got it.
Really?
Yeah.
What'd they give you instead?
Probably just like a Barbie. Polly Pocket.
Sans car.
Sans car.
She's unlicensed.
What about
unlicensed.
You?
I think I wanted unrealistic stuff too as a kid. Like I think I wrote letters to Santa when Santa and I were close.
Uh-huh.
I wrote letters to Santa asking for stuff where I was like, I would like to be admitted to Hogwarts. Like I was operating in a different plane of reality. So when I didn't receive it, I was like, well, I guess I'm just not liked.
Stop.
if
Oh
I
my
didn't get into
God.
Hogwarts. So I was asking for unrealistic things.
That's so funny.
Well, the most infamous one that I did not get actually was, I've told you before, when I pleaded to my dad for tickets to Wicked when I was 13 because it was coming to the Bushnell.
Ah,
And I saw an envelope on Christmas morning in a ticket shape, and I was like,
it's time.
This is it. And I opened that up, and it said there are 2 back row orchestra seats to the children's production of The Wizard of Oz, not Wicked.
It's
That
sinister.
was a pretty sizable toy that I did not get.
Yeah. And you got like the bootleg version of that toy.
Really, really rough time. Really rough time. But that's the first one that came to mind, I think.
I can tell you there was an era where my mom kind of, and God, like I look back and I'm like, wow, I was such a little brat.
No.
But no, it's true. Because my mom was running around like a chicken with her head cut off, trying to get all the gifts for like all 4 kids. And there was an era where like it was like 3 years in a row where the one thing I asked for, she got the brand, but it was like slightly off. Like it wasn't the thing I wanted. And I threw such a freaking hissy fit. Like it was definitely when I was in like my brat, like middle school,
Not
high school
adult
era.
brat era. Child
Not
brat
adult
era.
brat. Not
Not
attractive
Charlie
brat.
XCX brat
Not
era.
cute brat. Like annoying brat. Like I remember so
No.
specifically, she got me a pair of Uggs that were like all-terrain Uggs, which actually were more expensive than just like regular Uggs. I remember that Christmas going up to my room and crying. Because I was like, how am I going to wear these to school?
How could you?
Was,
They're all gonna laugh at you.
yeah.
I mean, I'm curious what other people's answers are, because neither of those are like really toys, but I'm really trying to think of like toys that we must have wanted as kids, but toys were kind of not cheap in collection, but like in comparison to the things that like when you're a teenager you start asking for, which are like phones and like big things, like,
Yeah.
but toys, I don't know. Maybe a bicycle. Oh, you know what I think I wanted? I think I wanted like a little electric bike.
Uh-huh.
But not like a bicycle, like a little like Vespa kind of thing.
Mm.
Because I used to see them in the magazines. They were super expensive, and I think forget if they were gas powered, but I did not get it.
Well, we probably had the same. We had parents had the same line of thinking, which is that like any motorized thing, our kids are gonna get hurt.
Yeah, you'll shoot your eye out. That's the vibe.
Yeah.
Let's ask a couple more questions because I want to get to some of these. What about some of the ones that were sent to you?
I was gonna say I gotta ask you some for my little list. Okay.
My little love. I was listening to 30 the other day. The album 30, the album Adele.
Oh God, is that the one where love is a game for fools to play?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh God, I love that song.
To love and be
Okay, you're gonna die at this question.
Okay.
This is from Guy About Town. How are Mel's microbangs? The people demand updates.
Thank you for asking. Like I said, I meant to mention this earlier because I did call her and she got to see me and she said, "You look beautiful." And I said, "Thank you so much." And then I hung up the phone. I did get a look at the microbangs. They have grown out, so they're doing very well. I don't know what's next for her. I don't know what she wants to do next. I do think she was shell-shocked from the microbangs, so I think she'll be laying off any adjustments to her hair for a while, but who's to say?
Does Mel color her hair?
She has in the past. She's been bleach blonde. She's been jet black when she had a mullet. When she grew up, even as a kid, she used to get highlights as a kid. My mom would go and get her highlights all the time.
I just had such a funny vision of you going FaceTiming and then her coming on, "Oh my God, you look beautiful," and then you just hang up.
That's quite literally what did happen. Because I just went
like I got the affirmation I needed.
She goes, "You look beautiful." And
I went, okay, that was a quick one. Let me do one more. Okay, let's see. This is from NEN.ES or NEN.ES.
Oh, we had another one from them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What is your most
part.
memorable Christmas?
Oh, wow. When I was really little, I remembered thinking, I'm going to catch this man, Santa, meaning Santa. And I stayed up all night, refused to go to sleep. And I had actually set up a contraption. This is crazy. I tied a string, like a tripwire, by the fireplace, which was connected to the
Kevin
string
McAllister.
by B.
Baby.
The burglar's not, it's no match. And the string went all the way up to my room, and it was connected to some kind of like a can or something, so that if the can slid on my dresser and I heard it, I would know Santa just tripped over the string. And I thought at one point I had tricked myself into hearing. I was like, I think it happened. And I could swear to God, I could hear sleigh bells. So I was like, it's a go. And I slid down, slinking down the stairs. And again, earmuffs for the kids that are listening. But when I slid down the stairs, I saw someone moving, and I was like, oh my God, it's Santa. And in hindsight, it was definitely like my dad, or like more than likely my mom in a big robe putting presents under a tree. But I only got a glimpse of it, and then I went back upstairs because I was scared. But I went to bed thinking, I was like, I just saw Santa. And
Stop.
that was enough for me.
Oh my God.
But in hindsight, it was definitely my mom in a robe, like, Jesus Christ.
That's an incredible visual.
What
God,
about
wouldn't
you?
it be amazing to just feel that, not to get too heady, but like feel that wonder again? Like that, because that's something that like you truly will never, I mean, you experience in certain pockets of your life as an adult, but truly the idea of that being what you saw. That's
Which is why it's so special to protect it, like, while kids can enjoy it.
It's true.
Like, I don't think I understood that growing up, because by the time I got old enough to like not appreciate it, and I was crass about it, my sister was young enough to still believe, and my dad guarded that so carefully, because he was like, she only has a few more years left. Let her have it.
Mm-hmm. Oh my
I
God,
get
that's
it
so
now.
sweet.
I know.
I remember a really memorable Christmas was the first time that I came down and saw the Santa cookies eaten, and my mom wrote a note that was in this super cool, like funky font that in my mind I had never seen anything like that before in my life. Like I'd never seen handwriting like that, and I was like, oh my God, this is real. I just remember thinking to myself, this is definitely like somebody from another magical place that wrote this note. They actually came to the house. Holy shit. 148.
148, baby. I just realized, I was like, we're saying them out loud. I'm like, but I haven't actually been marking them down.
I think we had 148 and maybe like 9 something. 9.
We did, yeah. We had like 9 and 148. Okay, I'll mark that
We
down.
need a live censor button just to be like, well,
when they come, they just come, to be honest.
Yeah,
like, they're
that's
just
right.
like, here, I'll ask 1 or 2 more questions.
Okay.
Just so because I want to get to some of the other ones. I just saw the microbanks one. That's so foul. Have you ever been in a car chase? Answer that one quickly. Have you?
Yes.
What are you talking about?
I have been in a car chase. Oh my God.
Wait, what is the story? I don't know this.
This is
What do you
really
mean?
weird. In college, I was
Also,
with
this
a
is
friend of
from
mine.
West.nyc.
West.nyc. Okay. I was with a friend of mine in college, and this person decided to flip off the car behind us because they laid on the horn like right when it turned green. And this person
Someone in your
behind us,
car decided to flip them off.
yeah, the driver.
Gotcha. Okay.
It was a guy friend of mine from college, and the truck behind us was this big freaking, like, not like a monster truck, but like big old truck, and looked kind of like scary. And the person driving it looked a little scary. And I was like, why did you do
already
that?
got a complex. Not the person to flip off.
Totally. And so we start driving, and we're going down there's this one long road in my college town that like took you back. It would eventually take you to the interstate to get you over to this like nearby town. And so we were going down there to get to that nearby town, and I look in the rearview mirror and I see that truck is like still behind us, trailing us. And I said to my friend, that guy's really close to the car. Like, do you think that they're going to do something? Like, I think you pissed him off. And they were like, no, it's fine. And then my friend, kind of being very mischievous, this friend knows who they are if they're listening, kind of like pumped the brakes.
Brake check, yeah.
To see. And that really pissed them off. And then they started like driving around us really fast and erratically. And I was like, you need to stop doing this. Like, this is, do not do another thing. We get to the next stoplight. This guy pulls up next to us, gets out of his car. He says, get the out of your car. And I was like, no. Like, we're not doing this. And then my friend cut all the way across the lanes, went into like a nearby neighborhood. This was, in hindsight, one of the dumbest things that we could have ever done. But my heart is like racing right now thinking about it. I have such a clear memory of it. We go into this neighborhood. We are flying around. The guy had run back. I saw him get back in his truck. He comes after us in this neighborhood.
No.
It's like one of those neighborhoods where like all the houses kind of look the same. Lots of like little windy roads. And we are just taking like my friend, the driver, is taking like all these different turns to try to like make sure that we're not going to.
I think he must have been freaking out a little bit too.
Oh, he was completely silent. Like, he knew he had kind of messed up.
Ooh.
If we did not take a turn down, and this guy, like, we are driving down, and then he goes whoosh, right in front of us. And I was like, oh my God. And my friend, I've never seen him. We still joke about it this day. He reversed that car. K-Point turned it so fast, and we got out of there. We drove back to campus. We went to like the music hall, and we just sat in the parking lot. And the two of us like didn't speak for like 10 minutes. I was like, what in the world just happened?
Wow, I had absolutely no idea what you were going to say for this story. You have a real car chase.
It was a real car chase. I'm dead serious. It was one of the scariest things. It was so stupid in hindsight too.
That's insane. So did you ever find out who the guy was, or no?
No,
like,
no.
Just,
He was
some
like
rando from like college.
Yeah. He was an older guy too. Just driving.
What do you think he would have done if he
college
caught
town.
up with you? Beat him up?
I mean, I think he was going to beat up my friend for sure. Have you ever been in one?
Not like that. No.
Yeah.
But I did. There was somebody on a road, I think Main Street in my town, like in my hometown. This will make you chuckle. Who was tailgating me hard, and I was being an ass in high school, and I did brake check them a couple of times, and I shouldn't have done it. And it got very close a couple of times, and then finally I realized that they were following me all the way down on a few roads over. So I didn't pull into my driveway because I was like, no, that's mistake number one you would make. And I just kept driving. And when we got to a stop sign, it was a woman. I realized she got out of her car, and we're gonna have to bleep this too. She gets out of the car and she goes, "Come on, motherfucker, let's go." Here's the thing. Realize while looking in my rearview mirror, it's my friend's mother.
She didn't recognize you?
No, because she'd only see. First of all, I had glasses on and I was facing forward. I could just see her in the rear view, and I was like, "That's Trisha's mom."
Shut.
And I remember, like, out of instinct, I panicked and I just go, "Get back in your car!" in a southern accent. But she came out of her car, stood in the middle of the street, and goes, "Come on, motherfucker!"
Oh my God. Oh my God.
We might as well just make this episode unedited, to be honest.
Yeah, honestly,
so
we
much
might
easier.
just have to be. Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh,
well,
so I guess we do have some, but like, damn, a couple of crazy car chase stories. Yours is scary. They should make
it was very scary, and I remember it so vividly. So nuts. Okay, Becky, should I ask you one more? No, I didn't cry. I was in such a state of shock.
I imagine him swerving. You're like flying all over the passenger seat.
I literally was flying all over the passenger seat. I just remember when we got to that, basically get about to like T-bone the guy.
Yeah.
I just remember thinking to myself, I don't know what's about to happen, but we might be getting killed. Like, this guy is going to kill us. Like, and then my friend, I swear to God, he is a very smart person, but he whipped that thing so fast. I could barely, like, my head was spinning by the time we got out. It was wild.
Damn.
Oh my God. Okay. Let me ask you one more.
Sure.
Let's see.
This other lash is about to go any second.
And so it shall be. Okay. What was the weirdest Christmas present you ever got?
Huh. I'm trying to remember now. Oh, well, when I got given a My Buddy doll, that was pretty terrible.
What's that?
You've seen Chucky, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And it's based off of a fictional like doll called a My Guy doll or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it is a My Buddy doll. I forget which one's real, which one's fictional, but they based it off of a real life manufacturing of a doll. Like a doll made for like it was like gender neutral, I think. Like it was like for like boys and girls, but I got given it. And that thing was so scary. I locked it away every single night in the nose.
I'm like,
You're
good. Little cookies or
I'm
something.
looking less and less. I'm looking at myself. I'm like, I'm not looking like Martha May anymore.
I kind of want to just take this off at the very end just so we can see what's happening underneath.
I think we really should.
I think we should.
Did you get pictures in it at least to show anybody?
Let me take one snap. That's so unattractive.
This one bang is killing me. God.
One selfie.
My face.
Oh my God. Okay. Should I?
What I want to hear your answer. What was your strangest Christmas gift? I also got coal one year as a joke.
Did you really?
Not just as like my only gift, but like my stocking had coal.
Oh my God.
And I was like, whatever, bitch.
Thanks, bitch.
Whatever, bitch.
I'm trying to think of the weirdest gift I ever got. Most of like weird gifts I get come from my older brother. So like I know they're coming. I know he's gonna do like a gag gift, and they're normally like always housewives coded. But I guess I could say it is one of the weirdest gifts, but it's one of my most cherished gifts. He gave me a T-shirt with Luann's mugshot.
I want
and that's
that
it.
too.
And I
Do you wear it ever?
Yeah, I wear it to sleep. So I'll just wake up some mornings. Especially, it's been funny, like if I've had like a night out or something, and then I wake up the next morning and I look rough, and then there's Luann's mug.
This is literally how she looks in that shot. She goes,
yeah, she's like happy about it.
my sister sent this to me when we were first watching New York, our first pass, and she goes, "This is an evil person. This is what an evil person looks like." Because she's just like, she's so sinister looking. She's like,
yeah. And then she even said, she's like, I had a doctor once that told me, you're not pretty when you drink. I was like, that's true. I sound like her right now.
I was going to say, I was like, you saying that? And then the gurgling cough that came after shocked me just now.
Shocking.
It was like, I'm shaking.
We've got to go see her Christmas cabaret one year.
Please.
Oh.
Bethany got run over by a reindeer. Good.
You get that too well. You do that too well.
She says Sonia in a certain way too. She goes, Sonia. Sonia. That's who I'm looking like right now. This is a little Sonia.
Yeah, you're giving a little Sonia.
So what?
Don't touch the Morgan letters.
That's too much. We're going to have to wrap it soon. This has been a lengthy but wonderful holiday episode. I hope that anybody who's on the road or on long plane rides, that you have something to just listen to in the background. Here's some sinister, scary stories. That feels like forever ago that we even told those.
I know.
Over an hour ago.
Oh my God. Yeah, y'all be safe if you're driving, and have the best whoever you're celebrating with. If you're going home to see family, if you're just hanging back solo, if your family sucks and you're not going home, I hope you have the best holiday.
You're hanging with us, if not.
You're hanging with us.
Oh no, my Christmas lights went out.
Have mine gone out?
I swear to God, if that thing drained the battery, I'm gonna be so. Wait, these went out too. Maybe they're on a timer. That would make sense.
They're probably on a timer.
Let's see it.
Okay, I'm taking this off.
Wait.
Oh, they're back on?
They are. Okay. Wait, okay.
Oh my God, this hurts.
Wait, can let me take a picture.
This hurts so bad.
This is so troubling.
Oh,
well, you
my
look
God.
really sexy. The second you took that off, I was like, oh, so now we're Mean Girls. This is a Mean Girls.
Crying.
I see. Wow.
This is dark. This is so dark.
Can you
It's also been painted with foundation. Are you wearing foundation?
No, not today.
Not today.
Not today.
Not
It was just a couple falsies and some shadow.
Oh my God.
Well, I'm melting, so I think it's time
Yeah.
that we wrap this one up. Thank you so much again for sharing your scary story, and thank you for the questions to all the creepers who
Yes.
submitted.
Thanks, creepers.
We hope everybody has a warm and special holiday. This has been so fun, and we
Yes.
love getting to spend time with you. But
Yes.
I guess for now, we should say goodbye.
Goodbye. Good luck. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. And the muscle.
And the muscles. Bye, guys. We love
Bye,
you so much. Keep
creepers.
an
We
eye
love
out for
you.
this weekend because you might be receiving something special in your email if you subscribe to the CreepTime newsletter.
Bye, babies.